there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Got lots of love. Love. 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 Got lots of love. Love.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. We've got some more CGL playoff action in our PC Open division. We've got a pretty good matchup here between Inarizaki and Yikes, trying to fight their way into the loser semifinal, keep their seasons alive. This is an elimination match. I am joined tonight by Shadow Fang. How you feeling, Shadow?
Oh man, I'm really good, really excited. Been a while since I've cast this CGL match, so it's good to have a PC open tier elimination game. So it's gonna one of these two teams is gonna go home tonight, and the other one is gonna have a chance to still get that prize pool that's waiting for them at the end. And
Uh,
it's really is gonna be a really good game.
Yeah, I think it should be. Both of these teams really good. Yikes, they didn't drop a map during the regular season. I mean, they had a little bit of a rougher time in that midseason tournament. They got bounced in the first round, but here we have Inarizaki's lineup. We've got Mop and a maiden, a Madian on the DPS. That's going to be a tongue twister for me all night. Evie on the tank and Darksea and Saint on the support in the backline. Let's look at the challengers now, though.
Yeah, and let's see Yikes' lineup. They're coming out here. We got Manually and Slater on the DPS line. Cyber running that tank with Proto and Jimical on the support line. And as you can, and now let's take a look at that playoff bracket. See where these teams are. And if you look down here towards the bottom, you'll see Inarizaki and Yikes. They will be playing the winner of Sublime and Worldwide no Prestige.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams, they've had some decent success. I mean, they've only been Inarizaki only got bounced to this place, the losers bracket 2 rounds ago. Yikes. They lost to Bonzi Buddies in a 3-2 match. Another one of the really, really good teams in the tier. I mean, Yikes and Inarizaki both have fought to be here and are only recently joining us in the losers bracket. So I really am looking at this match to hopefully be pretty close. Um, you know, like I said earlier, Yikes, they didn't drop a map during the regular season. They did get dropped by, I think, actually, Bonzi Buddies in the first round of the stage 1 playoffs. Yeah, it was 3-1 match to Bonzi Buddies. So they're looking forward to trying to get that revenge on another try moving forward. And Inarizaki, they didn't make it to the midseason tournament, but they're trying to make a name for themselves here in the postseason.
Yeah, and I mean, they just got knocked down by Worldwide, who is playing on the other half of this losers bracket. So potentially they could go for their little revenge match as well. And we're gonna now talk about how map number 1 is gonna be Antarctic Peninsula. It's been in the background this whole time for good reason. Penguins, gotta love penguins. I'm a big fan of this map personally, Fletch. What do you think about Antarctic Peninsula?
I think it's traditionally more rush oriented, but
Yeah.
I also think that we're gonna see a Sigma variation of rush. If it's not rush, it'll be a Sigma poke. Sigma's just the best tank right now. And as good as these two teams are, I don't think I've actually gotten an opportunity to watch or cast either of these teams throughout the postseason. But as we get in here, yeah, we're going to see Yikes on kind of what I was expecting. Inarizaki, they're coming out on the Reinhardt here. And, it can work. You don't have to worry about that Sig shield, I guess, or even the grasp. But the composition that Yikes is running is probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, definitely. Having the Sigma poke comp and having the Lucio speed, you can still get away from the Reinhardt. So it's going to be really difficult for Eevee to get a lot of value on this Rein. It's gonna be heavily on these Meis. I think whichever Mei gets the better walls is going to really determine these fights.
Yeah, and as we get into this first fight here on Icebreaker, Eevee trying to close the distance on it to Yikes and is walled off here. Gets the Immortality Field through the broken wall, and a Maiden is able to put Jimmicle in the dirt early. Slater gets a great trade onto Eevee. You will absolutely take that if you are Yikes. And without the Reinhardt of Eevee, it's just going to be Yikes taking this ground and absolutely pushing Inarizaki over. They're going to get the first flip here on Icebreaker.
And yeah, it's just there's so much poke damage coming out, and once that shield is broken on Reinhardt, he's kind of just a big, giant hitbox that just gets headshot over and over again. Yikes is already about to come up on this amplification matrix. Baptiste builds that ult so fast. I wouldn't be shocked if they just pop it right here in the middle of the Oof.
I mean, they might not even need any ults here.
True.
Slater rips the head off of a Maiden. The wall comes through, but Cyber's just going to surf it. Just going to hop up on top of that wall. Not going to worry too much about getting cut off from the rest of the team. The wall is going to come out from Slater, cut off some of that healing, and without the ice block, Ultima Wep is in no man's land. The hammer dealing so much damage to Cypher, but the Immortality Field, a great one from Proto, and Eevee with under half HP, a great boop, not letting anybody get caught by that charge from Eevee. Yikes stays on top in a great effort from them right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And both teams having every single ult on the board. This could go so many different ways right now. I'm curious if Jimmicle not quite having beat will matter. Maybe not. They should be able to build it before these ults come out, I would think.
95% and counting here as Inarizaki's trying to change up the way they go, and they're able to avoid the flux. The Blizzard is going to come out from Slater, but Inarizaki has found some great picks. But the Blizzard is even better as the Overclock comes out. The Shatter hits a couple, but it's not going to be enough as Saint is the last man standing, goes down. That is probably going to be it as Ultima Web goes down after a quick touch. Yikes is going to take Icebreaker in a dominant round.
Yeah, I mean, that's just. I think the poke comp is just a little bit better than the Ryan comp at this particular time, especially if you're going to run the Mei with it. It's just like you just wall off Ryan, blow the shield up, blow up the Ryan, and boom, kind of easy to make the team fall apart from there.
Yeah, and I mean, a great round from Yikes. They're able to keep their distance and, you know, show off why the Sigma is considered better than the Reinhardt at the moment. I have seen Reinhardt work, but you have to get uncomfortably aggressive. I feel like if you want to get up in the face of the Sigma. I don't foresee this composition, you know, unless Inarizaki just, you know, comes alive, catches fire here. I just don't foresee it working that well.
Yeah, and I mean, the Sigma is just so sustainable, has so many ways to keep themselves alive that it's hard to force an immortality field early. Whereas Reinhardt, it's kind of easy to force out an immortality field early.
Yeah, Inarizaki fighting on the high ground while Cyber pokes from underneath already 40% just about to a Gravitic Flux, but a Maiden on the flank kills two. Manually and Jimical are down, and this is what you want to see. The Reinhardt just needs to soak up the damage, and with that already here, Inarizaki is able to find some footing in this fight. They're going to get the first fight in Flip here on Laboratories.
And that's basically what it's going to take every single fight. You're going to have one of your DPS go on some sort of little off-angle flank and pick somebody off early, because that then allows your team to kind of rush in with the Ryan and get the kills.
A great wall from Ultima Web is going to cut off a little bit, but they'll break through it like tissue paper. Pretty easy to get through the Mei wall these days if you focus on it. And oh no, that's not great for Cyber as the Blizzard's going to come out. It'll freeze too. The immortality field's not going to be good enough to keep Proto alive. And without that ice block, Slater not able to keep themselves alive either. Yikes continues to be oppressive. Or not Yikes, sorry. Inarizaki continues to be oppressive on the hold.
Really smart Blizzard there from Ultima. They catch Cyber out kind of for free, and just that's a great big time wall in Blizzard. You kind of want to see them ult early here if you're Inarizaki, though, trying to keep this pressure on.
Cyber getting super aggressive, gets shattered! The Gravitic Flux ready to go, but a Maiden once again cleaning up the kills. 3 for the Sojourn on Inarizaki. Great plays by this team right now. They look like a different team than we saw on map 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that they're able to kind of just lay down that consistent pressure, it's looking really good. And I think a Maiden kind of looking for a little flank overclock, if you will.
And we're going to see it come out here. Immortality Field's going to come out from Proto. I mean, a great response from Yikes. Ready for that overclock to come out. Everybody looking so low. And this time, it's the red Sojourn that is making the big plays manually. Gonna help take Yikes to the point they're gonna get the flip here.
Yeah, you're pretty happy with that though. If you're Inarizaki, you got quite a few ultimates out of Yikes right there, and all you had to really use was the overclock. You're still walking in with a window and a Blizzard, and Yikes doesn't have a sound barrier to counter it. So if you can get a really solid Blizzard out, get 1 or 2 kills, that should be the round for Inarizaki.
They use the wall to try and get manually cut out. And Saint is going to jump on the Baptiste. A great early pick there. They're not going to have so much of their healing anymore here for Yikes. Everybody so very low, and slowly but surely Inarizaki is going to come out on top of this fight. But manually and Jimical, they've taken a fight. They're going to win it here, or win their duels here anyway. Jimical got caught out just a bit as Proto returns, manually keeps trying to pump that damage in to the Reinhardt's shield. Cyber has switched over to the Wrecking Ball, gonna try and go for that sustainability, that hard to hit character. Trying to keep this round alive, trying to put this map in the dirt right here, right now, as Saint gets aggressive with the sound barrier. Inarizaki's gonna get the flip, but the Sojourns are gonna trade. Darksea for Cyber. You'll take that if you are Inarizaki. I mean, it's still the trades coming through, but the tanks are out of the picture here for both teams. A great fight right now. Nobody knows who's going to come out on top. Proto is able to take down the Lucio, and without Ultima Web, Yikes is going to stay alive here.
Oh man, that was crazy fight, just going back and forth, and Yikes is looking really strong to finish this round out here. I think it's got to be between these two Blizzards. Whichever one of these two Blizzards is better, I think is going to take the round.
Yeah, and we see Eevee now gonna switch over to this Orisa that Cyber has also gone over to here recently, as the Blizzard's gonna come out from Slater and cut off some players here on Inarizaki, as the Blizzard is gonna come out from Ultima Web goes down here. So that's an early pick onto the Mei of Inarizaki. The overclock is gonna help find manually, but Eevee is down. Yikes is able to take down the Orisa here, and slowly but surely this round is going towards Yikes. They've got a Tracer in Ultima Web on the point, gets folded like an omelet, and that's gonna be it. Yikes is going to take Antarctic Peninsula, go up 1-0 in the series.
That was a really, really nice recovery from Yikes. Cyber showing their flexibility there. They come out on the Wrecking Ball, then they swap to the Orisa, kind of forcing Eevee to also mirror that Orisa towards the end of that round. And the Blizzard by Slater getting that one pick, getting that one player advantage is just super crucial in those ending fights like that.
I mean, yeah, Inarizaki, they looked better. They looked like a different team on that second round, but Yikes. I mean, I've been saying it a lot this playoffs, but, you know, we're down to the point in the playoffs where all of these teams are really, really good. And in order to differentiate yourself, you know, by a wider margin, you have to be clutch. You have to be able to win the fights when they matter. And, you know, Inarizaki, sure, they got to 99%. But Yikes, they didn't give up. They just decided, you know, we're going to stonewall Inarizaki. Screw the Reinhardt. The Reinhardt worked for a little while, but we're going to adapt. And once they adapted, Inarizaki just never had an answer. And you know, that's what it takes in this late in this postseason.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Great recovery by Inarizaki to make that a close game, or make that a close map. But, you know, it just wasn't quite enough because, like you said, that clutch factor coming out from the side of Yikes. And Inarizaki is going to have this map pick now, and do they pick anything besides King's Row if they want to just play this Rhino?
The answer is no. The answer is no, they don't. Our next map is going to be Scrims Row. You know, Reinhardt is pretty popular. I guess you could run it. I do think the Sigma still wins out. In most cases, you know, it's just so good because you look at that statue, right? The Mondada statue on point A. I mean, if you're Sigma, you can sit back, you know, on the back side of the point and spam down either one of those sides, or, you know, through the hotel. I mean, it's just the difference right now is that Reinhardt, it's a lot harder to get up in the face of people, especially because with the Sigma comp, you're playing so much further back. You don't need to get aggressive until, you know, your Mei hits a Mei wall. That's when you you hit the go button, is that you collapse on somebody that's cut off by the Mei wall. And, you know, I do think that if Inarizaki runs the composition right, the Reinhardt could work. But I mean, Yikes is you know, they're looking good on whatever composition they want to run out on, and we're getting into the map here.
Yeah, and looks like Yikes is thinking about doing this Baptiste and Kiriko combination here. I can't say I've seen that particular combination of heroes, but not mad at seeing double immortality. You know, if they're gonna put the abilities in the game, you may as well use them, right?
Yeah, I do think I prefer a Lucio, you know, to help out with the Maywall stuff. But it looks like they're gonna go for all-out damage in the backline. Baptiste and Iari here for Yikes, and Inarizaki, they're just running a good old Reinhardt rush with the Mei. You know, both walls already have been expended by these teams, so that is a pretty big cooldown that that these teams are going to have for the next few seconds, as Inarizaki's trying their damnedest to play around this this statue that I was talking about, but I mean, it's the same thing here on attack. Yikes, they're just going to spam down either way that they can get. It will be a trade for manually, as you know, Maiden's going to come back pretty quickly here. Will return to the fight here very, very briefly. So as it stands, Inarizaki, they're going to hold on in this fight. But, you know, they just got to keep rolling with this.
Yeah, they just got to keep. So the big advantage of the Rhine comp is that you're going to come up on your ultimates first, and you have a really nice cycle that you can do here. So what you have to do is you have to window this super early, so that you can just continue to lay the pressure down onto Yikes.
And you said it. I mean, Darkseid gonna pull the window out, and Cyber, the Mei wall, too much to deal with. The Sigma goes down here, and Yikes, without that Sigma in play, I mean, it's just not gonna look good in any fight. And I mean, Inarizaki, they're so much further ahead in ult charge. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, that's what's really good about this comp, is you can start ult cycling. I think the Shatter's got to come out soon here. You want to try and get this sound barrier out if you're the side of Inarizaki. You want to try and get the sound barrier out of Yikes early if you can.
And here we go. Here is the Amp Matrix. Eevee gonna get aggressive. Sees the Mei here. Ultima Web's Blizzard gonna come out. Won't get anything frozen. And the Shatter.
Ooh.
I think it hit one person there, fortunately, for Eevee. But, I mean, it just doesn't even matter because they were able to get a clutch kill on to Proto. Now the rotate through the hotel. Are they going to be able to find Cyber here? The Lucio heal's not going to get a lot done quickly, and they're able to take down Cyber. And, you know, it will be a kill on to Darkseid here for the side of Yikes. And, you know, they're going to keep this fight going as Cyber's going to switch over to the Mei. They put the pressure on. They've gotten the picks. And now Yikes is going to probably get a tick here before Inarizaki can retouch.
Yeah, you're going to want to wait for both your supports to come back. They're going to have to give up at least 2 ticks, and then I think they can touch with this.
Nah, they only give up 2.
No,
they're able to take down manually through the Amp Matrix of Darkseid. A great ultimate here for that Baptiste player. They're only going to give up 53%, and with the aggression that this Mei provides, with the aggression that the Lucio provides, Ultima Web is able to take down 2 late. They've only got 40 seconds left.
40 seconds left, and you've got a Blizzard, and Jimical does not have sound barrier. All you got to do is make sure Cyber does not eat this Blizzard. And I think you're looking pretty good if you're Inarizaki.
Yeah, you maybe even hope that Cyber doesn't have Fortify. You know, try and get that Mei down early. Here's the Blizzard. Proto gets frozen, but Ultima Web gets taken down. It was a good Blizzard, but just not good enough. And, you know, without that Mei, they're just going to fall over here. A great fight for Yikes. They got the Blizzard out, but they just shook it off.
Yeah, that's and like you said on the last map, they have Yikes has that clutch factor going in their favor. They're doing really well at these last-minute interactions, and now look at their ultimates. With their ultimates, Yikes should probably win this next fight pretty easily with this ult advantage.
Inarizaki's going to get a little bit aggressive here, but here comes the Terra Surge, and they're able to follow up pretty easily. But oh my goodness, the Amp Matrix blows Cyber into next Tuesday. An absolute just massacre on that Orisa, and Eevee almost has Shatter here. Gonna try and let Yikes get around the corner as they build up this last couple of percentage here on this ultimate. Slowly but surely gonna get there. They're down their Mei, so they have to be a little bit safer. Here comes the Shatter. It hits 2. Slater goes down, and a Maiden is happy to pack Slater and ship him, but the overclock is going to be good for Yikes. They're able to take down the Lucio. A Maiden as one of their own. What do they do here? Do they use the overclock? Do they save it? They want to give up nothing.
Yeah, I think Inarizaki probably is going to end up using this just to
Here we
force
go.
the sound barrier.
Yeah, there's the sound barrier, right in the face of a maiden. A great job, you know, completely nullifying that overclock by Yikes. But Inarizaki, they've got another Amp Matrix here, and we saw what happened to Cyber the last time that ultimate came out. But the Blizzard early is going to help take down Ultima Weapon, a maiden. A great ultimate there to, you know, not only take out the entire team, but they wasted Amp Matrix.
Yeah, I mean, just a fantastic Blizzard from Slater, and that should confirm point 2 here. I don't think anybody from Yikes is going to be able to contest this.
It doesn't look like it, but Yikes, you know, they're using these ultimates very, very well, I feel like, compared to Inarizaki. Like, they've had a couple of good ones, but Yikes' ultimates, they've just been a little better.
Yeah. Once they've broken that first point, they've got the much more mobile comp with the Orisa. Ultima does get manually, though.
Yeah, a great pick for Inarizaki here. They're able to take down the Mei. Ultima Whip does have a Blizzard on the other side here, so you know, without their Mei, Yikes is going to say, hey, we know we can't win this fight more than likely. And ooh, a nice little headshot there onto Slater. I don't think they used the ice block, so they'll still have that. Cyber probably wants the Terra Surge here. Yeah, gonna use the Terra Surge as Ultima Web drops the Blizzard, but once again, Inarizaki, they use an ultimate and his Yikes just shakes it off.
Yeah, that was a really great amplification matrix from Yikes. That had to be a planned combo with Cyber. Cyber pull everyone in with the Orisa ults. We're gonna pop Amp Matrix and just shoot at them while you pull them towards us.
Oh yeah, and Manually has already opened up another fight here. Ultima Web is down as the overclock also gets popped. No kills with the overclock here for Yikes, but the sound barrier is going to be good to keep the team durable, and there's just no answer for Inarizaki, and Inarizaki will go down. Yikes has almost 30 seconds here in the time bank. So it's not impossible to overcome the time bank, but it won't be easy with how well that Yikes is playing right now.
Yeah, you got to be really happy with that if you're Yikes. For point 1 to be forced all the way into overtime, you lose the first fight on point 2 to that amplification matrix, and they seem to just be constantly adjusting to what's happening from Inarizaki. Sometimes it's taking them a little long to figure it out, but they seem to they seem to be figuring out how to deal with this Rhine composition.
Yeah, and you know, it's what they want to run, right? It's what Inarizaki wants to run. They want to run the Rhine Rush, but you know, when the enemy team is playing Orisa, that it's just not like, even with Sigma, I think it's rough but doable. I think Orisa, with the way that you play Orisa, with how Orisa interacts with Reinhardt, it's just so much harder. And, you know, maybe they play it a little bit differently on the attack coming in. They still want to trust an Eevee on that Reinhardt. But I guess we'll just have to see once this round gets going.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to break this first choke, but it kind of is for every single team on Kings Row if you're running this May. It's going to be really difficult to break this opening choke, and with Yikes coming out on the Orisa to begin with here, I'm having a hard time seeing who's going to fall first for the side of Yikes for Inarizaki to take this point.
Yeah, Saint takes a lot of damage early, has to play a little bit safer on that Lucio, and a great wall from Ultima Web. Cuts off for a little bit, but they're not able to follow up on it. And here's a Sojourn duel on the high ground, so that should be interesting. But Darkseid's dead. So, just like that, Inarizaki, they're on the back foot. They need to get out.
Yeah, that's really good reset though. Really good reset. No one else died unnecessarily, staggering it out. You're able to go back, get your Baptiste, reset, and then we'll go do it again. You know, see if maybe Inarizaki can get the first pick this time.
Manually's just raining down bullets from this high ground. There hasn't really been an answer from Inarizaki to put this Sojourn out of position, trying to jump on it, but that's going to be a great pick and exactly what you need. I mean, even with Saint going down, Saint is one of the ones that can come back very, very quickly. And with Ultimate Whip on the high ground, they're going to put an icicle into the top of Cyber's head. Just like that, Inarizaki have blown point A wide open, but Manually's not going down without a fight. They don't want to give this up. They might have to, but they don't want to. And, yeah, Slater's able to take down Eevee, but it's too little too late. Inarizaki's going to take A.
Yeah, really good play there from Eevee. It seems like the two Meis are the linchpins of these compositions. Anytime the Mei players have gone down for either side, the comp has just collapsed after that. But walking into this next fight, we've got both teams with basically all of their ultimates here. I imagine we're going to open this up with windows.
Well, nothing yet, as these teams are just content keeping it neutral for the moment. But there we go. Proto starts it out, and it's answered by a window and a blizzard by Inarizaki. I mean, the blizzard is big for both sides, but Manually and Cyber just, it was a great play by Ultimate Wep and Darkseid to throw down their ultimates. It was a great blizzard. But Yikes, theirs were just better.
Yeah, and they managed to use the Orisa ultimate to pull more people into the blizzard, into the way of that amplification matrix. The amplification matrix was at the perfect angle where even when Inarizaki was retreating, they were retreating into line of sight of the matrix.
Inarizaki, they may have lost that fight, but they're not going to go down without a fight here, as they're looking to get aggressive. They don't want to let Yikes regroup very easily here, so they just press W. They're going to walk right into Yikes' face. They're going to try and get this free little bit of cart progress, and a Maiden just kind of free shooting into their backline right now, as Yikes has now regrouped. They're going to get back in here, but Inarizaki, they have the ultimate advantage coming into this fight. We'll see what these ultimates are going to do, as a Maiden goes around onto this off angle, trying to use the overclock. The Shatter going to come out. Immortality Field's going to help for only a little while, as Jimical goes down. No chance to use that sound barrier, as a great pin from Eevee puts Manually right into the wall, and this Baptiste is really going after the Reinhardt, but even with that pick onto Eevee, Yikes is going to be more than happy to walk B through.
Yeah, great fight win there for Inarizaki. This third point, this God corner, as people like to call this first area, is going to be really difficult to get through. You gotta force some of these ults out of Yikes early if you want to get through this.
Well, speaking of ults out from Yikes early, there's Terra Surge. They're going to use Window as well. They're able to take down Cyber, as the Amp Matrix also came out from Darkseid, but I mean, just a better use from Yikes, and it's just the Blizzards right now coming up for these two teams.
Don't look now. Eevee almost has this Shatter, but it's gonna be really difficult to get a good Shatter off.
Just kidding.
The Orisa.
Just kidding.
Oh well, never mind. All right, so Eevee is going to the dark side. You either die a hero, live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Eevee has now become the villain.
Well, Cyber was already a villain here, right? Like, you gotta own up, and I think that Eevee just has said, like, yeah. I don't think the Reinhardt's going to work here for very much longer. The Maiden's going to open it up onto Proto with a follow-up on it to Cyber. So some great picks early. I mean, if Inarizaki can finish this map with, a minute and a half left, I mean, I think they could finish it even faster. But, they could... Oh, we're going to get a pause here
looks like,
from Inarizaki. Okay. Yeah, so Ultimate Wep has gone down. So that fight's probably a wash. But like I was saying, 90 seconds, that's triple what Yikes has got right now. You'll have 2 minutes. So if you can finish that in 90 seconds, I think that Inarizaki has a pretty good chance at taking this map. But I mean, Yikes, they're hard to take down. Like they're a good team. They know how to play these compositions and keep themselves alive. Which is the best thing that Orisa does, right? Is just stay alive.
Yeah.
But I think that if Inarizaki can overcome that, they have a pretty good chance at taking Kings Row.
Yeah, most definitely. And the window usage from the side of Yikes has been really, really good too. Like the window has just been like I said, down a straight line hallway that Inarizaki has to retreat through most of the time, and it just gives manually free shots with that Sojourn rail, getting double boosted. It's just like crazy high damage. Oh, also funny note here. Do you know why they gave Orisa the referee skin?
Why?
Because when she comes out, that's when the fun stops.
Yo, whoa,
Yeah.
okay. Hey, we can agree on something, I guess. I only play Orisa to make Roadhog players' days worse because they deserve it.
Oh yeah. I wonder if that's still going to be the case after this new fix coming out for Roadhog. When is it? Like in a couple weeks?
It's next week. It's next week.
Next week? Okay.
Yeah. I'm actually excited. I think late in Overwatch 1, I would be up awake at 5:36 a.m. Running it down on Roadhog solo queue in Plat. Good days. But yeah, I think that if you want to make the Reinhardt work, especially right now into like a Sigma or an Orisa, I feel like something important to have is a Symmetra. As we get back into the fight here, Inarizaki's already down one, but they're able to actually even it up on to manually as you can see through the wall there. Darksea is under a lot of pressure from Jimical and Slater. Gets cut down, and Inarizaki, they even it up with the pick on him manually, but they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, good. Nice retreat there from Inarizaki, and they're looking at an Orisa ult and double support ultimates. Slater has swapped back onto this Mei, so that's gonna be tough to deal with as always. But we're seeing dueling BAP ultimates manually with this overclock is the thing I'm gonna watch out for here, though.
And here is the Amp Matrix from Darksea. Ultima Web trying to also build up to the Blizzard, and a great Terra Surge is going to take down Jimical manually. Answers in kind with the overclock, and despite Eevee finding 2, it's not enough. And I mean, Saint is under a lot of pressure from the Orisa, and shoved in a locker is Eevee right now. As Eevee finds Jimical again? How do they let this happen? It doesn't matter as Saint dives back in, but they won't get to that 90-second mark I thought that they might have needed. I mean, a great fight by Inarizaki, but once again, just a better one by Yikes.
Yeah, Eevee did have that moment of telling the other team, "You're locked in here with me," though. 2 kills when you're Maywalled by yourself. Kind of a crazy play. Ultima, though, looking for a good Blizzard here. Oh, manually.
Yeah, I mean, manually's just been so electric on this Sojourn, this match so far. Hard pressed to find a bad play from manually right now. I mean, just absolutely clicking heads. And is that Slater trying to do what Ultima Web was doing before, sitting patiently? But it's the script just exists. I mean, the Mei sits behind, and they just are able to pick off the enemy Sojourn. But once again, with that pick on to manually, who now switches over to the Widowmaker. I mean, Yikes just blows it wide open, and they're able to get the touch from Saint, but it's not enough. And Yikes on Inarizaki's map pick. They're gonna take the map here. Kings Row to Yikes. They go to match point.
Yeah, Inarizaki was looking so good on that 3rd point, but then just after the pause, they couldn't seem to recover and get back to how they were playing before that pause.
Yeah, I mean, just unfortunate. you know,
Mhm.
I do think that Yikes is playing like the better team right now. Unfortunately, I do think that Inarizaki, they're looking stronger. Straight up, they looked significantly better on Kings Row than they did on Antarctic Peninsula. But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know they're gonna have to be even better. And I just don't know if they can get to that level on the Reinhardt. I mean, they looked a little bit better on the Reinhardt, but as I was saying before, I feel like it's so important to have like a Symmetra to help get around on the Reinhardt, just because Reinhardt, slow character, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
kind of a sitting duck, and Symmetra helps a lot with that to get around. You know, I've seen so many great Symmetra plays recently that I feel like it couldn't hurt, right? But from the side of
Yes.
Yikes right now, they're locked in.
Yeah, most definitely. Like Manuely's having sick plays on that Sojourn. You've got Proto having the great Baptiste windows. You got Cyber pulling the team in with the Orisa ult so that the other players can pop off. Not necessarily wanting to get the flashy plays for themselves, but doing the plays that allow their teammates to pop off. And we're going to be going to Flashpoint for our next map. And I don't see anything changing.
Yeah, it will be Inarizaki's map pick. I've got my money on Siravasa,
Hmm.
but we won't know if that bet is going to hit until after our break. So we'll be going to a quick break here, you know, just 5 minutes. But when we come back, we will see if Yikes is going to put the dagger into Inarizaki, or if Inarizaki, they're going to be able to find some footing. You won't want to miss it, so stick around and find out.
Bad mood for 40 years. 40 years.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Our insight here, you know, you get an insight and you know something, you know, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you, you know. But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
Break.
Welcome back, everybody. I mean, the match is a little closer than I think the scoreline would, tell you. Yikes right now has Inarizaki on the ropes, though. They're on match point, moving into map number 3, which is going to be Suravasa. I do think that if there's a map that Inarizaki can find some footing on, it'll be Suravasa.
Yeah, you can definitely find various corners and whatnot to play around if you really, really want to keep running this Reinhardt. They could also opt to just walk out on the Orisa, and we might just see the Orisa duel throughout. It really depends on how confident they are after the last map, if they can straight up take that mirror, or if they want to just keep forcing the Rein.
I mean, from what I've seen, Reinhardt teams, they prefer the Junker Queen on Suravasa. And I don't hate it. I don't hate the Junker Queen at all. I mean, it's faster, and fast is what you need on Flashpoint. Because if you're too slow, I mean, it's just gonna get out of hand very, very quickly for you. But I do think that most teams understand that Reinhardt probably isn't. If there's gonna be anywhere that you just don't play Reinhardt, it's probably on Flashpoint. Which is why I've seen most of the Reinhardt teams, like I said, pick up the Junker Queen.
It's very possible. I honestly expect to continue to see the May and Sojourn for both sides.
Yeah. As we get in here, we're gonna look at some settings actually, but well, I will. I'm just insane. That health is right, I think. But yeah, not what I thought at all. Actually, it's more what you thought, right?
Yeah. I was thinking it might be an Orisa duel, but seeing the Orisa into the Sigma, this is always an interesting one. I never really know which way this one's gonna go. I feel like it's pretty even for both tanks in terms of what they're trying to do.
I'm not crazy, right? Orisa's health is wrong. Yeah. So this is a bug that happens on Flashpoint every now and then. So just to describe it, the tank's HP is wrong. Their open queue health pool is what we just saw. And when we went in there, you heard me kind of take a double take, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, was that right? I wasn't crazy. So we'll get that fixed. It won't take too long. We'll get the map restarted. But it happens on Flashpoint for some reason. I can't really explain.
Blizzard things. What else could it really be? I was thinking when I looked at it that Orisa looked like that armor health was a little bit too big.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yeah. I don't know. It just happens. I don't really understand it, but it only happens on Flashpoint. I mean, there are some other bugs that I've seen where like the kill feed doesn't show up, and it doesn't show up for the teams, not only
Yeah.
for the observers. And I mean, but it's only Flashpoint that this tank bug happens. But what we saw was the Orisa and the Sigma. I wonder if the teams are gonna take this restart and change it up a little bit to try and counter the enemy team. It's certainly a possibility. But I do still think I like the Sigma.
I think the only thing that could change is Yikes swapping from the Sigma to potentially the Orisa. Otherwise, I think we're gonna see the same things coming out again. They could potentially opt for the Orisa duel, but I think they're gonna continue to stay on that Sigma.
Yeah, I don't know. We're still trying to get that code figured out, so bear with us. The
well-
mistakes happen.
Well, Fletch, did you happen to play a Maga over the week?
Yeah, I
over
did.
the weekend. What'd you think?
Yeah, I did.
Thoughts? Comments? Concerns?
He blows up, man.
Yeah.
He has no way to defend himself other than his little shout. I mean, an Ana, a Zen, a Sombra, a Bastion. I mean, all of those characters just put Mauna in the dirt. It's tough, but he's fun. I enjoyed him. I thought I was a pretty good Mauga, personally.
I had a really good time playing him myself. I figured out that you kind of just spam with the fire gun from far away, and then if you're up close, you just constantly shoot both guns.
Well, I shoot with the left gun, the fire gun, but then if you shoot them with the other gun while they're on fire, you know, they become crits.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So yeah, you could. Yeah, I was like, you can swap it over.
And then
But
if you get
typically,
the crits, you get the extra overhealth.
Say
Which
typically,
is the only other defense.
I wasn't typically catching people on fire from distance. They were always just standing behind a shield. So maybe that's why I didn't.
I don't know, but
oh,
seeing a
what
slight
are
change
we
here.
seeing here?
It'll be the Reinhardt into the Sigma, which is, I think, worse for Inarizaki.
Inarizaki said, if we're going down swinging. Literally.
In the most literal sense, yeah. But they come out on the Reinhardt, and, you know, they're already in the fight, getting aggressive on to Cyber's head. Immortality Field has been expended. And that grasp, it cannot defend you from the honorable hammer of Reinhardt Wilhelm. Cyber goes down, and Inarizaki, they're gonna get the first. I mean, they won't get the first flip, but they should win this fight. Now that Prota's gone down, and Slater with the fadeaway punch on from a Maiden, Inarizaki, they don't get the first flip, but they do win the fight. They do get a flip.
And Cyber pulling out the Orisa already. No fun for Inarizaki. You gotta figure out how to get through this Orisa if you want to run this Reinhardt. I want to see Darky get this window before this fight really starts up here, so that we can just continue to lay this pressure down with these ultimates.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of damage into these players from the side of Yikes. As the Ant Matrix is going to come out, they're able to keep Eevee alive here, and Yikes, they're putting on a show here on Suravasa. They only need maybe one more fight here to take market. Maybe not even that. They might just keep them in spawn.
Yeah, really great push there from Inarizaki. You basically get up to the rest of your ultimates for only using up your window. You kind of think Inarizaki's should be able to take this without a contest, actually.
Yeah, great plays by Inarizaki. They're gonna take market, but you know the trade-off for that, you know, Yikes not pushing. Oh, they really were banking on that point being over there, weren't they? Oh, Inarizaki, you know, they won the gamble, or Yikes lost the gamble rather, as we head over to Garden. Yikes tried to gamble on where the next point would be. You know, could have worked out better, but Inarizaki, they have so many ultimates here. As we see the first one come out, it's going to be the overclock from a Maiden. No ice block from Slater, but the sound barrier in response, and the shatter hits too. They're able to clean it up onto Prota, And without that ice block, Slater is a sitting duck, and the Amp Matrix from Proto comes out, but it's practically worthless.
And yeah, you managed to neutralize the Blizzard of Slater too, so it's just a really, really great fight win for Inarizaki. It was expensive though. It cost you all 4 of your ultimates, and Yikes did manage to hold on to their Overclock and their Terra Surge. So you gotta force this window. You gotta force this window early right now.
And here's Darkseid's Amp Matrix used, but they're able to take down Cyber. Cyber put their lives out on the line and got beaten down for it as the overclock from Manually not gonna find a target, unfortunately. Now Inarizaki, you know, despite going down a mid, this is exactly what you want to see if you're Inarizaki. Yikes is gonna play their game. This fight's not done yet, though, as Yikes, they don't want to give up this fight. As did Jimical just get sent off the map? No, they didn't. Manually puts Eevee in the dirt. They're gonna get to 99% though, so all they need is one more fight.
Yeah, you do see the fight flip though for the side of Yikes. Yikes is going to have double support ultimates coming into this next fight, so you really wanna. You gotta have a good sound barrier usage if you're Jimical, because Inarizaki is about to walk into both DPS ults and a Shatter, basically 4 ultimates.
Yeah, they've got time too. I mean, they got to 99%. They're gonna have at least 2 fights, but the window comes out, and once again a Maiden comes alive, taking down Slater. And that Amp Matrix, they just kite around it, completely avoiding the damage. And without their Mei, they can't cut off those sightlines. They can't defend themselves. And, you know, their way of answering? The sound barrier. You know, you'll take that if you're Inarizaki, right? I mean, you get out the sound barrier in an already won fight.
Yeah, that's really great. And you only had to burn the overclock, so now Inarizaki's got all 4 of their ultimates with this comp. Cyber's thinking about it.
What is Cyber thinking about?
Swapping,
I'm
maybe?
curious.
I don't know.
Doesn't look like it.
No, it doesn't. That looked like a swap moment, but maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, I thought so too, but I mean, Inarizaki has some oppressive ultimates coming up here for this 3rd point here on Palace. Here is the Blizzard from Slater. They're able to get the kite. The Blizzard came up from Ultima Web 2. They're able to get the trade. Cypher not able to get that Shatter up, not going to live, and it's just trades left and right now, as Saint is so very, very low. Has the sound barrier if they want to prolong this fight. But we're going to see the Amp Matrix actually. So a great shot from a Maiden. Just a sliver of Proto's body was there through this Amp Matrix, and with Cyber having returned, so is Eevee though. I mean, this fight could go either way, but Cyber's so hurt with no supports, no chance. It's going to be Inarizaki taking the fight here, and Eevee getting aggressive, pressing shift, absolutely squishing Manually into a fine pace. Inarizaki starts the final point here potentially.
Oh, this is some good old-fashioned Overwatch right here. Been a long time since I got to watch 2 good Reinhardts just duke it out like this. Cyber has Shatter. That's the big one here. Can Eevee block this Shatter? Oh, I love this mind game between Ryans.
And here's the wall. They're able to get over the top of it, though, as the overclock comes out. They don't have sound barrier, and they can't protect Proto. It'll be a trade. Manually able to take down a Maiden, but the Shatter from Cyber is going to be no good, and it's another trade. Darkseid takes down Manually in place of Saint. Eevee is able to find Cyber, but the Blizzard is so big, takes down 2 players, and Slater almost single-handedly with the help of Manually. They're going to hold on to their lives here on Palace. They're going to get to 99% once again, but Yikes stays alive.
You gotta be happy about that if you're Inarizaki though, because you made Yikes burn all of their ultimates. No ultimates, and what do we have on the other side? We've got Eevee with a shatter. Oh, can we see a little MTD moment coming up for Eevee? I'm one that hopes so.
Yeah. Looking some old school. What a wall! The immortality field comes out in the shatter. It didn't hit Eevee, but it's to assert dominance and doesn't get the one shot on the Mei simply because of that 250 HP. And without Cyber, Yikes is scrambling at the moment. They have this Blizzard. What can they do with it? The Lucio was on the point. Jimical trying to stay alive, almost had the sound barrier, but just couldn't get away with it. Manually and Slater are frozen. Manually gets the M-word, but it's not enough. Yikes stays alive. They take Suravasa.
Great map win. Great map win for Inarizaki. And like you said, they do manage to stay alive, take the map. They forced Yikes to play their comp on Flashpoint of all maps. And up next we got Push. I can almost guarantee that we won't be seeing Coliseum.
Or we could. I wouldn't be mad about it. And by the way, I was wrong. Yikes didn't take the map. I'm just stupid. I got swept under the rug there, or I got swept in the momentum of Inarizaki's brilliance there. I mean, yeah, Inarizaki, they stay alive here, and I said it during the map. That's exactly what you want to see if you are Inarizaki, forcing Yikes to play your game. And I would have liked to see Yikes try and come back out with Colosseo to try and put the MTD towards Cyber, but no, their map pick, it's going to be New Queen Street.
Yeah, and I mean it makes sense, I imagine that Yikes is going to want to continue to play their more pokey style comps, just because that's what they've played all game. But has Inarizaki figured something out between these last few maps here? Because just think about it, map 1, it was kind of completely one-sided for Yikes. Map 2, Yikes just barely took it. And then map 3, Inarizaki completely flips it on its head. So maybe we could be in the process of a little reverse sweep action here.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad about it, admittedly. Like, Inarizaki, right? This team that we saw on Suravasa, it's not the same one that we saw on Antarctic Peninsula. I mean, we were touting Yikes' flexibility, their adaptability. Inarizaki, they don't need the flexibility to be adaptable. I mean, I talked about it, you talked about it a little bit. They made Yikes play their game. And I assume that they still want to come out on the Reinhardt. Maybe not. We're gonna see the Orisa here from Inarizaki potentially, while they're still in spawn. But it could be that they finally found their footing, and I hope they have, because this match would be a whole lot more interesting if they had.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to see the Orisa versus the Sigma, which is what we initially saw on Suravasa. So I never, like I said, I never can tell which way this is going to go. I tend to opt for the Sigma like you do, like as far as which one's, a little bit better. But the Orisa certainly is not a bad choice.
Manually taking a lot of damage there and just spamming out a maiden. So I mean, Yikes, they're already off to a great start, because who else but Manually to blow this fight wide open. Eevee's able to send Cyber off the map and take down 2. So it's a 1-player advantage for Inarizaki, but Slater puts any chance of Inarizaki taking this fight, throws it out the window, and saying a little too slippery.
Yeah, those Lucio players, they're always able to just get out of the craziest situations some way, somehow. That is an important kill, though, that Eevee managed to get, because, look, Cyber only 17% ultimate charge because of it.
Yeah, I mean, a great fight there for both teams. Eevee really did try to make it an interesting fight there, and, did. You don't see too many spears off the map anywhere, let alone New Queen Street, because a lot of the fights don't take place where you can do that. So it's a nice little gift we've been given here by Eevee, who once again electric with the spear, cannot miss, throws it right through Manually. Proto gets their head ripped off, and I mean, off to a great start here for Inarizaki. Because of that prolonged fight, they only got 20 meters on the bot.
Yeah, because of the ability to contest through that little side window, there was no chance for the bot to continue to move forward. And they might actually be able to take the lead here. And oh my goodness, there's a lot of ultimates for both sides. You're gonna be want to watch out for manually in this overclock though.
Yeah, Saint has got to. I was gonna say has got to build up to the sound barrier, but Eevee does not want to mess with manually right now on that with that overclock, and getting shoved into a bit of a locker here right now is Slater. Nobody comes to help the Lucio. Insane fight there between Eevee and Jimmicle, actually not. Oh, Slater's the main. What am I thinking? I'm out of my mind right now. Jimmicle and Eevee were in that fight, and I mean, Eevee's gonna pop the Terra Surge here. The Bound Barrier gonna come out in response, but Proto takes so much damage and goes down late in the fight there. But I mean, Eevee just refused to die. This is Orisa at its peak, right? This is the Orisa that everybody is so scared of. And even with that, the character refusing to die here, Yikes is going to be able to bring this fight out as manually once again finds a couple. And I mean, Saint just no, that's not Saint. I thought if anybody was going to do that, I figured it would be a Lucio, but no, it was Ultima Wet.
Lucio May, not too much of a difference.
Same thing.
Same character. Yikes did use a bunch of ultimates though. They are going to have this Gravitic Flux, but Inarizaki has a ton of ults to counteract that. And I mean, this beat has to be really good from Saiyan.
Yeah, and getting in here, Yikes once again in the push-pull here. They're going to take the lead once more, and the Immortality Field's going to keep Slater alive. A great play by Porta, but Cyber, it kind of feels like on this Sigma, keeps getting caught out of position. And, the jukes are a little too good for Manually. Manually stays alive somehow or another. I mean, a great job staying alive there by the Sojourn. But a Maiden is not going to go down yet. Able to take out Proto early. So this fight should, in theory, be going in the way of Inarizaki. They're not willing to let it go just yet as the Blizzard comes out. It's going to be big. There's no sound barrier to keep them alive anymore. And the freeze is going to come through for Cyber and Jimmicle. And Yikes. I mean, they're going to lose the lead again as Inarizaki may even hit butt scratch.
Yeah, it's going to be really close if they manage to do that, though. The Saint managed to hold that sound barrier, which I think is going to be really important because there is a Blizzard and Overclock on the other side for Yikes.
Yeah, they're not quite able to get that checkpoint going, but I mean, Cyber once again put into a corner here as the Blizzard's going to come out. They freeze up Ultima Wet, but once, Cyber just caught out again. I mean, Eevee's doing a great job at, keeping the Sigma in check right now, and they had to use basically everything to win that fight. And Maiden's able to take down Manually late, so they can't even get aggressive anymore.
Yeah, and they did actually manage Inarizaki to get the checkpoint, so yeah, just a really great win overall for Inarizaki. Even in the fight lost, you still managed to get checkpoints, so that's kind of a W.
And with Manually gone, like I said, Yikes cannot get aggressive to push the bot further. I mean, Inarizaki just coming up big when it matters here, and now the point, it's going back a little bit in the way of Yikes right now. Maiden with 6 HP, but simply does not care. They're able to take down Cyber again, the first pick in a fight. Cyber just has not gotten their, has not hit the ground running here on New Queen Street. I mean, they're going to get past this checkpoint and start building the lead even more.
Yeah, getting past the checkpoint is such a huge milestone. And it's really hard to overcome. Ultima Whip about to have this Blizzard. You could possibly see a Terra Surge Blizzard combo coming in soon here.
It's not a common combo, but I don't think I'd be opposed to it. Now that you bring that up, the amp is going to come out from Jimical, but not enough to get through. The Blizzard is Nate gonna... Nate takes down Proto. Ultimate Web! Ultimate Web! Ultimate Web takes down 2 on the way out. And once again, this is another fight where it's just going to have to be get across the middle of the map and back out.
Just deny those forward spawns, back away, get the rest of your team set up.
They can't even do that! They can't get it across. And they still have the forward spawns for Inarizaki, and they have 3, almost 5 ultimates coming up for this next fight. They have the Blizzard. Jimical has the beat as the Amp Matrix comes out. I'm not sure where, though, as it's going to be a great Immortality Field. The Blizzard's going to come out. Slater's caught out in no man's land. That Immortality Field, the sound barrier going to come out for the side of Yikes. Tries to keep Slater up, but they just can't do it as the overclock is going to take down Saint. I mean, it just feels like the fight wins keep coming through for Yikes, but they just can't do it cleanly, as they might even lose Jimical here. This, you know, Maiden's able to grab the Mega, 5 HP. They don't lose Jimical, but they finally find their footing here.
That's finally a solid, just complete fight win for the side of Yikes. They are going to be able to get potentially just back to where they were, maybe, unless Inarizaki cuts it off at this window and contests.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they want to do, is come out through this door, but manually opens it up! Darkseid gone! Right now, the Sojourn able to rip the head off of the Baptiste. And right now, Yikes, they have the lead, so they can just wait for Darkseid to come back. You know, so close to that, what's the ultimate called? The Amp Matrix. We're gonna get a pause here from Yikes. You know, they're in a pretty good spot right now. They have a couple of ultimates, but Inarizaki, it just feels like on this map right now, I mean, they're able to find the person that's out of position, and a lot of the times it's actually Cyber.
Well, and I want to say this too. Yikes is about to get this checkpoint right now. They're like 0.78 meters away, and the bot's moving, so they're gonna get this checkpoint. They're only 20 meters, I think it was like 22 meters, I want to say. 22 meters behind once they get that checkpoint. And that's one fight. That's one fight. So if Manually manages to just pick off another person and they snowball that into a complete fight win, we're looking at Yikes taking the lead very late into this map. I think there's only about like a minute and a half left.
The problem, it was Yikes' pause. I'm scared someone is DC'd.
That would be kind of tragic, especially if it was Proto, because they're the ones that have ultimate.
So I don't know who it was. We're getting into the map once again very, very soon. I don't know what the problem was. A tech issue, I guess. Someone having some issues, but nobody had to, you know, leave the match. No ultimates gone. Not in a disadvantage here for Yikes. So it's going to be a perfect 5 versus 5 fight here, as we see the overclock gonna come out from the side of Inarizaki. Not gonna be able to find anything with it, unfortunately. I mean, somebody has to go down eventually. And here is the Gravitic Flux. Darkseid is the one that got targeted, but the Immortality Field comes through. And, you know, the window, it's not going to help anybody get blown up, but it's going to provide exactly the opposite. It's going to provide that amped healing, as we see Manually just slide the fadeaway shot onto a Maiden, able to take down the enemy Sojourn, but Cyber's dead! I mean, Eevee is going to go down as well, but without Cyber, this fight is going to be very, very difficult for the side of Yikes. I mean, Inarizaki, they don't want to give it up here, as Darkseid is able to stay alive for so long, and, you know, eventually Saint will go down, and they're on the Doomfist. It's overtime here. Eevee and has the Terra Surge, and Saint is coming back with the sound barrier. They're able to take down Cyber. The Blizzard is going to come out from Slater, and they're able to take down Darkseid. But without the Lucio, they're able to go down. This is incredibly clutch by Inarizaki. They take map number 4. We're going to a map 5. Inarizaki stays alive in the face of Yikes' map pick. They don't care.
And I mean, Eevee just showing us all of the plays on this Orisa this map, just constantly, like you were mentioning, first play of the game, what do? They knock Cyber off the side of the map. You never see that happen. And this is Slater actually getting play of the game and then dying to Eevee. So just really, it was really great, great Orisa play in particular by Eevee on that map.
So, I mean, what an incredible match we've got right now. Two incredible teams. Inarizaki fighting back from the depths of hell. I mean, what a performance by Inarizaki. 2 maps in a row. They have the momentum. Yikes has a map pick going into Escort. We don't know what it's going to be. Figure that out when we come back from a short break. But my God, you won't want to miss the ending of this series. So stick around. We'll see if Inarizaki can complete the reverse sweep or if Yikes is going to put a stop to it and move on. welcome back, everybody. We've got a series here. You know, 2-0. A lot of people thought Yikes would put the dagger through the heart of Inarizaki, but Inarizaki, they just won't let go. Nearly a reverse sweep here coming into map number 5. Here it is. Yikes, 2 in a row. Inarizaki, 2 in a row. Can they make it 3 in a row, or will Yikes finish them off here? Only time will tell. But how are you feeling right now, Shadow?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of thinking that Inarizaki's got to have the edge here coming into map 5. And, Yikes picked the best Rhine map in the game, Watch Point Gibraltar. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Inarizaki finally comes out on that Symmetra you've been begging them to play all series.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I think the Symmetra is a good shout. It's gonna be tough to run Rush or Brawl or whatever on this map. It's Watch Point Gibraltar. It's a dive map at its heart. But I don't know, man. I'm curious because all we've seen out of these teams is either Rush or the Sigma. I'm interested to see what we're gonna do, and it's gonna be dive. We're going to see dive. And I am interested in this. Did Yikes pick this map because they think Inarizaki's dive is worse?
I mean, very well could be. We're seeing already a slight difference from the two teams because you see a Maiden coming out on this Ashe, whereas Manually is going to opt for the Widowmaker version of this, and then the difference between Echo and Tracer. I think it's going to be really, really interesting and kind of up to Manually here, I think, for the side of Yikes. Manually's got to take out a Maiden early.
Here we go. One more map to decide it all. We're going to get in here, Yikes. They're on the Winston Cyber trying to jump on top. The D.Va, providing a little bit of peel, and there we go. The start is towards Inarizaki. They're going to take down 2, and Yikes' attack has already been stunted here as a Maiden's getting aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of two early picks there. Eevee already at 53% ult charge on this D.Va bomb. Crazy good D.Va play.
Yeah, the D.Va, seen as, at least in ranked, a bit of a Winston counter. It just spams up close in the Winston's face and is able to get in the Winston's face easily. And a great job by Saint so far to keep Cyber off of the backline. The whip shots have been great for this rig, as we're going to see Eevee actually get demeched here. Slater at 125 HP now. I mean, they find their footing finally with the demech on to Eevee, but it just doesn't matter because Cyber's dead. This fight in the server room going to get ugly if Eevee gets back into mech here. It'll actually be Slater that gets into mech, as Eevee also does with the remech here. The dupe onto the D.Va. They're not able to get the bomb just yet. 3 seconds left, and oh my goodness. I mean, here comes the nano boost on to both tanks. Slater is very, very low, and Bob is just going to be more than happy to put a stop to that Echo, as the Primal Rage is going to help Cyber stay alive. Not going to feed too much more, but Inarizaki, they just look like a wall right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a really, really expensive fight, though, for the side of Inarizaki. Burned everything but your D.Va bomb. Manually still working on trying to get these infrasites up, but I think Jimical having this Brigida ult.
Oh my god!
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Manually, check him PC. What the hell was that? A great shot to take down Ultima Wep on the Tracer. Trying to find that pick, and I mean, Saint and Darksea, they are, they're stuck in a corner, man. They're getting shoved in a locker, and the bully is Cyber. I mean, what a play by the Winston, the Widowmaker. I mean, everybody came alive in that fight for Yikes. They're going to take A.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the difference in having that Brigida ultimate on top of manually just taking down Ultima so early, and you don't have to worry about that Tracer anymore. That pretty much leaves the whole of Inarizaki in front of you. You don't have to be constantly watching your back for Tracer.
Yeah. And, I mean, here we see it. Eevee's going to get aggressive again. They're jumping onto Cyber right now, but I mean, everybody is putting everything they can into the tank of Inarizaki right now. The anti is going to come out onto Cyber, and Cyber's so low. That's going to be a nano boost for free for Proto with the heals onto Cyber. I mean, a great job there to help him get out there, but that dupe was certainly one for the ages from Slater, as we're going to see the Primal Rage get popped by Cyber. They found their momentum here on Watchpoint Gibraltar as these ultimates continue to come out for Yikes. I mean, their push has been unimpeded since before they capped A.
Well, and look at the timing of that dive and the ultimates too. You had 3 players for Inarizaki that almost had ultimate, but Yikes went just that second early, and it allowed everything to go in their favor here.
Here's the nano boost onto Saint to keep the Brig player alive, and they're going to use the nano onto Slater, and both Winstons actually, as Eevee has opted to switch off of the Diva. Now, both Winstons are in the dirt right now, as Manually is able to rip a Maiden's head off. We see Ultima Wept trying to keep this Widowmaker in check. Not going to be able to do so with the help of Proto. They're keeping the Widowmaker alive. Now Proto is the target in Ultima Wept's eye here. Pulse Bomb ready to go for Jimical. Well, not Jimical. I was looking at the bottom left, and Jimical has the rally ready to go. Pops the rally, ends the fight for Yikes, and they're just going to stagger out Darkseid.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Yeah, okay. Nice trade. Nice trade. We take those.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Yikes is going to be able to take B here. Inarizaki, you know, both teams, you know, no ults just yet. Eevee building up to this Primal Rage. I have not seen Eevee with a Primal Rage. I don't know what they're capable of at the moment. As Yikes continues to get the progress on to the cart here. They're trying to spam down Ultima Web, get rid of that recall. It makes Tracer so much easier to deal with when she does not have that cooldown. The dive comes out on to Manually, and here's the Persuasion Manually again. Manually with two for the Widowmaker, and incredible shots there, and a headshot onto Eevee through Primal Rage, and Eevee's gonna go down here to Manually because why not?
Just manually.
Oh my God, Manually!
Oof.
I think Manually killed 5.
Oh my goodness, manually just taking over on this Widowmaker here in the last final hour, if you will.
Yeah, and Saint trying to protect a Maiden who has now switched over to the Widowmaker themselves. What can they do as a Maiden has come alive? And that is what is going to happen manually. I mean, these shots have been immaculate from Manually. I mean, look at this! Look at this! The gap has never been wider! I mean, Manually is almost single-handedly doing this for Yikes right now. They burn through Saint, and I mean, with 52 seconds, I mean, Slater coming alive here at the end too. I mean, a great effort here from Yikes as Eevee's trying to stay alive, but the whip shot from Jimical is too much, and it's not enough. As, I mean, it's just stress touches right now from the side of Inarizaki, and they're able to knock another 30 seconds off the clock, but Yikes. I mean, with the help of Manually, you know, a little bit of a slow start here on Watchpoint Gibraltar. I mean, the Widowmaker just blew blew the game wide open on points B and C.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Once manually started hitting those shots, you could see the difference in why the Widowmaker gets played a lot on this map. It's just really, really long sight lines all over the place on this map. And it looks like we're going to a pause. Having some technical issues. Oh, there goes Saint disconnecting.
Yeah, it's unlucky. You don't exactly like to see that, because we know that's a DC. So I'm not sure how far Saint was on the ultimate. Oh, well,
We're in between rounds,
yeah, it's in
so
between rounds.
they were at 0. So, we're good.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully Saint is gonna get back in here pretty quickly, but they got to deal with manually, man. Like,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
let manually free shoot, the game's over.
Yeah, they were doing a good job of that early on. I guess hmm.
I think it
seemed
started
it
once
seemed
Manly took down Ultima Web the first time.
yeah.
That
Yep, yep.
that'll get you the confidence to start hitting shots.
Yeah, I was gonna say Widow hitting a tracer isn't exactly the easiest shot in the world. So once you hit that, you're like, oh, I'm kind of nice. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we'll talk about manually as
Hmm.
we get back into the map here for Inarizaki's attack. I mean, everybody was doing their job from the side of Yikes. Jimical on the brig, able to basically bully Eevee from even trying to jump onto Proto. I mean, I was talking about how Saint was doing a great job of that, vice versa with Cyber early on. But I mean, once manually started hitting shots, it made everybody's job so much easier.
Yeah, because as Widow, you just control so much space on the map by being Widowmaker and hitting shots. So you just have to play the game completely different. It's kind of like when you play against Sebastian, you have to like completely change up your gameplay and game style because that character is out. Or when you play against a Mei, so you can't play as freely.
Here we go. Ultima Web on the Tracer trying to start the cart push. Can still get one shot by manually here. So needs to still play safe despite not being in the presence of manually's Widowmaker any longer. Trying to pressure out Cyber, who did take a lot of damage, but able to get out. So you don't mind, you like seeing your Winston survive a lot of damage, especially if you're Proto, who that healing onto the Winston is a big reason why Nano Boost comes up so quickly. But Slater going down early is going to be a rough sight for the side of Yikes. They're gonna put some pressure on the cart once it got pushing, but with Eevee jumping on this high ground, jumping onto Cyber, has the sights up on the back line. The bubble in front of them as well. So from the side of Yikes, they're playing a little bit safer. They're going to walk up to the high ground and try and control that. So, I mean, the push is still coming through. They're just getting free meterage for Inarizaki. But they're not going to give from the side of Yikes, that is, they're not going to just give it up to you for free. Great anti-nade onto Manually and Proto. As the dive comes through, I think Eevee got caught on fire. And like I was saying, Manually can still one-shot you, Ultima Web. I mean, that's just the unfortunate part about playing Tracer. That 150 HP, it's not going to give you much freedom if you get hit even one time. And Inarizaki, they just got to back up.
Yeah, you just gotta wait for your Tracer to come back. You are gonna have the Pulse Bomb up, Overclock, Primal, and Rally are almost up for Inarizaki. Manually gonna have this Bob up though too. There's a lot of ultimate sides. Cyber taking out a mate.
I mean, they don't even need the ultimates.
Yeah.
Inarizaki, they don't need to pop anything but the Pulse Bomb, and even the Pulse Bomb that came out, Slayer's already at 70%. So that Pulse Bomb is going to be coming up again soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be really difficult to break this, especially with Jimical having the rally up, because you're gonna want to dive those squishy targets on high ground, but then you got the Brig rally available. Big shield Brig is a problem.
It is indeed a problem. Here comes Robert entering the field of play, but Saint turned to a fine pace and some great follow-up on it to a maiden by the Omnic there. Bob coming up big, taking down the Sojourn, and with a minute left, I mean, if you're Ultima Web, you just got to get out there.
Yeah, most definitely. Plus side, Inarizaki didn't use any ultimates, so yeah, you're still looking pretty good. But Yikes did only use Bob, and they've almost got their nano boost back up again.
Coming into this fight, it's a almost a 4 versus 4 ultimate fight for these teams. Can Inarizaki break through, but they don't even get a chance to pop the overclock as the sleep onto Eevee is huge. The burn, the anti, everything is going in the way of Yikes. There's only 20 seconds left.
Yeah, 20 seconds left, and Yikes still has both support ults and a primal rage. It's gonna take some crazy miracle play from a maiden with like a nano overclock for this to really go the way of Inarizaki.
And here we go, last fight on A, potentially the last fight for Yikes. Rally comes out, but that shield can't protect you from the nanoed scientist. Saint goes down, Ultima Web falls. Everything is going in the way of Yikes. And with Eevee gone, that is the dagger. Yikes denies the reverse sweep, and they send Inarizaki packing. They stay alive in the Season 12 playoffs.
All right, so Gibraltar was a great map pick for Yikes then. That's I think what we can safely say here. They had I don't know if it's really a secret weapon, but a weapon nonetheless of manually hopping onto this Widowmaker and then the Ashe, which they did not play this whole series until just then. They were on the Sojourn for the most part. And could tell they had really good aim the whole time, but then they just completely took over the lobby for that last map.
Yeah, I mean, everything just like that, right? Everything started to click for Yikes. They looked like the team we saw in the first 2 maps. And yeah, I agree with you. But I don't think manually was the only reason that Yikes took that map. I think Yikes just straight up had a better dive. And manually was definitely a big reason why they won. But the fact that the follow-up came through on the dives for Yikes, I mean, it's just, they were better. They were the better team tonight on the 3 maps that they won, for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. It was good, too, to see them pick Gibraltar and just kind of force the dive. Since we didn't get to see those comps played for the rest of the series.
The dive, oh man, I don't know. We were just asked for an MVP. This is the first time I've had to think about this in a long time. I mean, I want to get your thoughts first, Shadow. What do you think?
All right, me, I think that at the beginning of the series, I would have opted for Slater because I thought their blizzards were just immaculate every single time. But then once it got towards the end of the series, I was leaning more in the favor of manually. Manually kind of took it for me on that last map. I thought they were consistently really good throughout the whole series, but that last map was just over the top for me.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you, I guess. I think manually, Jesus, I mean, what a performance on map number 5 there, from the hit scan, and I mean, yeah. So MVP goes to manually here, and Yikes, they move on to the losers semifinals. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rammer. Yeah, so they're gonna move on to the losers semifinals. If we could get a look at that bracket really fast.
Yep. They're going to be playing the winner of Sublime and Worldwide. So
So
we'll
that
have
should be yeah, that should be another great round, great game there. Moving forward into the, I mean,
hmm
losers finals. You know, the loser of Bonzi Buddies YSL. I
hmm
mean, we're in here. We're so far into this playoff now. All of the teams are elite. All of the teams have earned the right to be here,
hmm
and they want a piece of that money. I mean, all these teams. I mean, we saw from Inarizaki, they lost today, but they didn't go down without a fight. I mean, yikes! They come out on top. They stay alive, but they're bloody and they are battered by Inarizaki right now.
Yeah, great effort from Inarizaki. They came back, made it a really close series, and just couldn't quite get over the edge there on Gibraltar. But great season for them. Great effort. You did had a great series tonight.
Yeah, but unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on who you are, I'm looking at you, Head Rammer. You know, uh, this is gonna be it tonight for us. What a match, and congratulations to Yikes for moving on to that lower semifinal. And like you said, congratulations to Inarizaki for a great season. You know, these players, they're so good. I look forward to seeing what these teams are going to do in the future. But that's going to do it for us tonight. Do you have any closing words, Shadow?
No. Well, my first cast in quite a while, like I mentioned, and I'm glad it was a fun series like this that we got to see.
I could not agree more. So thank you all for tuning in, and thank you to Headrammer and Kha'Zix for helping us prod this match, and thank you to Shadow for hopping on the mic tonight. I don't think we would have gotten it if you didn't. We wouldn't have gotten this match out, I don't think, if you hadn't hopped on. So I really do appreciate it. And that will do it for us tonight. So, you know, check us out. I think tomorrow we've got a few matches. Yeah, 3 games tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah. So we've got I think maybe 1 tomorrow. If we can get a co-caster, unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to hop in with Dex for that one, but we'll try and get y'all an EU match tomorrow if we can get an NA match going maybe. But that's going to do it for us tonight. So thank you all for watching, and I hope that y'all will check us out in our next matches. But, you know, for now, good night.